Alright, y'all, man. It's your boy Homeball 2 times for me. Back in that video, man, for me. Follow the Instagram at Homeball 2 times. Now, look, that's today's time we're talking about the connection of birth, death, and reincarnation. Now, look, for today's video, I want to give a huge shout out to the Most High in general for everything. I'm also giving a shout out to myself as well for wanting to receive this good information and give out this good information as well. I'm also giving a shout out to everyone and to y'all. Y'all literally take energy out of y'all today to come rock with me, show me love and support, you feel me? I appreciate y'all, man. I love y'all so much. More than love, always deeply. I'm also sending good positive energy towards everyone, always deeply. Excuse me. Also, if you want to book a one-on-one consultation with me, just DM me on my Instagram at humble2times. Let's go ahead and get more deep into the video. The connection of death, born, and reincarnation. Why are all three of these connected, right? Look, right? When it comes to being born, right? When you are being born, one of the main reasons why you are being born is to fulfill out a purpose, is to tap in with yourself, to be your own creator, to be your own goddess, to be your own God, etc., right? And when death comes into play, there's really no such thing as death. It's more so of a transfer. What I mean by transfer is it's more so that you're transferring over to whatever it is you're meant to transfer over to. So, but you can use the word if you would like, though. But when it comes to death, this is when you transcend. This is when you go to the next stage of your life, which for some people that might be absolutely nothing, because if you don't have a soul, then you're not an infinite being in a way. You're not a multi-dimensional being. But if you have a soul, you have a multi-dimensional being. So if you have a soul, then you are a multi-dimensional being, and you are infinite. You can never die. You'll just go live whatever life you're meant to live next. That could be back down here. That could be you could reincarnate as a plant as your next life, etc. You could go to a whole different planet, etc. Or you could reincarnate back here, etc. Right? And when it comes to reincarnation, right, a lot of us Black people have reincarnated back down here multiple times. This is why you'll see a lot of young people that would just be really talented and be really good at an instrument or at a sport, is because they done played it before. It's not their first time playing it. See what I'm saying? Or a baby be 2 months, 3 months old and already fully walking and running. They done been down here before. You know what I'm saying? Babies, infants are one of the most intelligent beings on this planet right now. This generation, my generation, we are one of the most intelligent beings on this planet right now. We are one of them, and I say that with all due respect. I'm not being cocky. It is the complete honest truth. My generation, our generation, we have done so much for the planet. And when we want something, we go and attract it, and we get it. We get what we want, etc. And the reason why reincarnation and transcending and being born, the reason why they all connect is because they're all three of them are part of the three. And what is a three? The three represents the Trinity, right? I might drop a whole video decoding and breaking down what is the Trinity, right? Now the Trinity, right? That's three different forms of the Trinity. There's multiple different types of Trinities, but the reason why transcending, reincarnation, and being born are all connected is because they're all a part of the cycles, right? If you have a soul, you probably have experienced all three of the Trinities, right? For an example, I have experienced all three of the Trinities. This isn't my first time being down here on this planet, right? I am a God, right? I used to be I'm a reincarnation. I've reincarnated down here. This is not my first time down here, right? I used to be with the ancient Kemets, as a lot of people know it as the Egyptians. I used to be over there in ancient Kemet. I was a part of the people over there in ancient Kemet. I still am, and etc. Do I remember all of my past lives off the top of my head? No, but slowly but surely, I am remembering more about my past life or past lives. I'm not even going to use the word slowly, actually. And the reason why these three all connect is because they are a part of life. They are a part of the universe. Because if you have a soul, you probably will experience all three, unless you're just meant not to reincarnate. You know, and what is reincarnation? A lot of people don't think that reincarnation is real. But it makes sense why you don't think reincarnation isn't real. The school systems aren't teaching you that reincarnation is real. Your parents, the people around you, they're not teaching you that reincarnation is real. So it makes sense. So even if you did have a thought or an idea of it being real, you have all these bots around you, so you don't even have the confidence and have the faith, enough faith in yourself at the moment to think that maybe reincarnation is real. Let me go walk on it. Let me go meditate on it. Let me go pray on it. Let me go actually go do some research before I just get in my ego and my lower self and just immediately seeing that it's not real. You see what I'm saying? Vampires are real. Reptilians are real. Reptilians live on this planet right now as we speak. Right now as I speak, there are reptilians on this planet. You got Pleiadians on this planet. You got ghosts on this planet. I've already broken down what ghosts are. Ghosts are souls who are looking for a body. That's what a lot of them are looking for, because they either are paying some type of karmic debt to where they're not able to get a body right now, an avatar right now, or whatever the case may be. But in a shorter term, ghosts are people who have a soul, but they are not in a body. They're not in an avatar, right? See what I'm saying? Etc. There's a lot of other different beings as well on this planet. Mermaids, mermens, you know, etc. There's a lot of different beings on this planet, on Mother Nature, Mother Kai. Shout out Mother Nature, shout out Mother Kai, shout out everyone. You know, and you know, death is a part of life. Transcending is a part of life, you know, and transcending is a beautiful thing. A lot of times we get rageful, you know, we get very emotional when people pass, and I understand that. But how I look at it as well, I also look at it from a beautiful point of view, because it's a part of life. Like, isn't that beautiful how you could be around somebody and then you might not never see them physically again or in that same form again, you know? And being born, it's a beautiful thing. You know, like, imagine you have a kid and you're watching your kid being born. It's a beautiful thing, you know? I'm saying that like I have kids. I don't have kids, but it's a beautiful thing. And, you know, when you reincarnate, it's also a beautiful thing as well. I know a lot of people would disagree on that, because, like, who wants to keep coming back down to a planet over and over, right? But reincarnation is a beautiful thing as well. It gives you new opportunities, a new energy, you know, new cycles of energy, you know, a new chapter, a new book, you know, and a new life, a new start, literally. New energy, new avatar, new body, you know, etc. And all three of these connect. You know, all three of these are part of life. They're part of the spiral, you know. And a lot of times we think that like, a lot of times we get very upset when people transcend, and I understand it, but at the same time, maybe I don't quite fully understand it, though, because I understand it, but I might not fully understand it, because we're supposed to transcend. It's a part of life. All right, like, I feel like a lot of times why a lot of people get very anxious or get very upset when people transcend and get very mad is because because a lot of these people aren't being real enough with themselves. Like, it's imperative to be real with yourself. Let's be real here. None of us are going to be here on this planet forever. Even if you even if you have a soul and you keep continuously reincarnating, you're not going to always be down here. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like, you're not going to always be here, even if you are a multidimensional being, right? You think all of our ancestors are here right now? No, some of them are, a lot of them are, and a lot of them are back on our home, on our original home, and a lot of them are, you know, in other places and doing other missions and helping others and helping themselves, etc., right? So, you know, like, those three are part of their own trinity. You know, the trinity is very imperative. The trinity is very important, you know, and, you know, like I said, if I haven't said it, I'm going to say it now. All three of those are very deeply connected. right? Because a lot of times it happens like that for a lot of individuals who have a soul, right? Because when you transcend or when you die, right, a lot of people have been programmed and brainwashed so much by the religion that, you know, when you're transcending or when you're dying, go to the light. But wouldn't it make sense to go to the dark? Because the light comes from the dark. The dark has been here way longer than the light has. What sense does that make? What if I told you every time people are transcending or dying, and every time they go to the light, what if I told you it was by them doing that, they're reincarnating back here? I might be wrong on that, but I might be right on that as well. That's something that you can think on. That's something that you can meditate on. That's something that you can journal on. That's something that you can do more research on. You know, but like I said, this is a very key point in this video. The light comes from the dark. The dark has been here way longer than the light, right? Don't just think that you only have a light side to you. You are the dark and the light. You see what I'm saying? You know, a lot of people don't want to accept that, but it's imperative to be real with yourself. You come from the dark and the light. You know, a lot of times in these religious books, they want to talk about how we are the light, but you are also the dark. Where does the light come from? The light comes from the dark. So if you are the light, then that means you are also the dark. And if you are the dark, that means you also are the light. You are both. You see what I'm saying? You are the 8, which is the spiral, which is infinity, rotating back and forth, balance, karma, etc. But look, man, if you want to book a one-on-one consultation with me, just DM me on my Instagram at humble2times. I'll catch y'all for on the next one, man. Peace.